The final pay-per-view for WWE NXT is taking place this Saturday night, December 10th, 2022. WWE NXT Deadline, or as I'm looking at here, they're also naming it Deadline with the DEAD, the L1 and E. So I guess it's another way to call it. But either way, it's NXT Deadline, and this is the final pay per view for the WWE as a whole as well. Honestly, I'm looking at this card. It should be a pretty good show for the most part, but basically, the main concept of this entire show is the both men's and women's Iron Survivor Challenge match, to where the winner of the match will go on the challenge for the NXT Championship for the men, and the women, of course, that being the NXT Women's Championship. And just to kind of give you guys a quick little rules here on what these matches are about. Two wrestlers will start the match, and every 5 minutes, another wrestler will enter until all five participants are present. After the last wrestler enters, there is a predetermined time limit. Each time a wrestler scores a pinfall, submission, or being the victim of a disqualification, they gain a point. A wrestler who is pinned, submitted, or is disqualified goes into a penalty box for 90 seconds. The winner of the match is the wrestler who scores the most points at the end of the time limit. And like I said before, the winner of these matches will become the number one contenders. And man, I'm like, I was when I first heard about this, when Sean put this out, I was like, this reminds me so much of like TNA King of the Mountain type crap or something like that. But hey, it should be a good match regardless. They still got three wild card matches that need to take place. I think Von Wagner is gonna win that one. Uh, and for the women, I think Indy Hartwell is gonna win that one. So those two, in my opinion, will be the final spots in both the men and women's Iron Survivor Challenge match. So let's get to it, man. So overall, for the men, we're gonna start. Actually, we're gonna start with the women here. We got Zoe Stark, Cora J, Roxanne Perez, Kiana James, and like I said, I think Indy Hartwell is gonna be the wild card winner. I think Roxanne wins this one, man. I think you you know Roxanne wins this one. I feel like if there's anyone who needs to take down Mandy Rose, um, it's definitely Roxanne Perez. And the way I see it, I just really don't see anyone in this match outside of maybe Cora Jade really getting the win. So I'm predicting that Roxanne gets the win, and she goes on to face Mandy Rose for the NXT Women's Championship. So now on the men's side, we got Carmelo Hayes, JD McDonough, Grayson Waller, Joey Gacy, and like I said, my personal opinion, I think Von Wagner is going to be the wild card winner. And you know what, man? I think you got to give the people what they want. I think Carmelo Hayes wins this one. I yeah, Grayson Waller winning could be cool. You know, we saw JD McDonough in the title picture. We don't really need to see it again. Joey Gacy, we don't really need to see it again. I feel like someone like Carmelo Hayes winning it and getting a shot at that NXT championship will definitely be something sweet and new and just refreshing overall, in my honest opinion. And what will most likely be the main event, the NXT championship on the line, Braun Breaker defending his title against Apollo Crews. Obviously, this kind of goes back all the way back to when Apollo Crews first came back NXT back in like around July. Him coming face to face with Braun Breaker, and now these two guys are scheduled to face each other. I think Braun Breaker goes over. I feel like Braun Breaker retains his NXT championship. This is going to be a hard fought physical matchup between these both fellas, but I do think in the end, Apollo Crews just won't get it done against Braun Breaker. Braun retains the NXT title. You and him and Carmelo Hayes face each other. I think that is the matchup you need to do, and just a match I think the NXT faithful would definitely like to see. So overall, that has been my preview and predictions for NXT Deadline. Overall, like I said, this should be a really good show. I don't know if there's any other matches announced for that are going to be announced for the show, but if they are, you know, we'll talk about them in the review. I hope you all actually enjoyed this video. This has been the Kid DC Wrestling. Remember to subscribe to the channel. And so, yeah.